Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Travis, otherwise known as Twisted Guns. Today we are going to be listening to Auto Backlight. This is the second Auto song I've responded to, the first one being Unravel. I found Unravel to be a pretty dark song, but I loved it. It was a 10 out of 10 song for me, so I imagine, I just want to explore this artist's whole catalog. I enjoy her music, so I imagine I'm going to enjoy the song. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, kind of like an anime type character. Colorful and vibrant, I like it.
全然な思い出は悲しみをガッツほどやるせない恨みはあいつのために置いてきたのさ。あんたら勝っちゃないだろう、本当に多分孤独を今だけ高くして怒りを今焼き飛ぶ飛ばしてそりゃ愛あれば伝わねむくはないやないやないやもう悲しくないさないさそう怒りを今焼きと蹴り飛ばしてそりゃ愛への罰だもん眠くはないなないなないなもう寂しくないさないさやっと散々たるくすまつは美しさをまとうほど限りなく太陽に近い赤に彩られていたそんな視界でも美しさがわかるほど焼き付ける光を背に受ける赤に気を取られている忘れてしまった心は分かっている今でも忘れてしまった言葉が痩せている怒りを今焼き飛ぶ飛ばしてそりゃ愛ある罰だもん眠くはないやないやないやもう悲しくないさないさそう怒りを今焼きと蹴り飛ばしてそりゃ愛への罰だもん眠くはないなないなないなもう寂しくないさないさやっと
Dude, I like this so far. Her voice is so unique. She doesn't sound like any artist I've listened to so far.
もう怒り願った言葉は崩れ立ってしまったが何でも見れたらしくしている何度も放った言葉が届き分かっているのならなんで夢見が苦しいから
Kadoosh.
もう怒りよまた焼き飛ぶ飛ばしてそりゃ愛ある罰だもん眠くはないやないやないやもう悲しくないさないさそう怒りよさ悪と吹っ飛ばしてそりゃ愛への罰だもん眠くはないなないなないなもう寂しくないさないさやっと
I like that. I like that a lot. I found that to be her voice is so different from like any other artist that I've listened to. I know I'm very limited in my, Japanese listening, but she's so unique, kind of like Asami in Love Bites. Her voice is so unique, and I can't really compare her to anybody. It was such a bright, colorful, visually appealing like music video. Like I enjoyed watching that. it was like complete it was like a complete opposite from the Unravel, because Unravel was like you could just tell it was like a darker video, and you could just tell just by like the character in that she used for the music video that it was just a darker song, even without being able to understand, some of the lyrics. It was pretty cool. I like it. It was way more colorful. Her voice is so unique. But yeah, we're just gonna get straight into the lyrics here. My memories so good and awful, it seems they gave me a grudge, but I left bitterness and resentment behind me. That sounds good. I left bitterness and resentment behind me. Those are two emotions that are sometimes hard to let go of when you feel a certain way about somebody in a negative light. And it is all thanks to him. Oh, might be about a guy. Look, it's the clowns who think they know how crushing loneliness can be. Yeah, that's pretty hard. Yeah, loneliness isn't something you really want to go through. Everybody goes through it in some sense. And the worst thing about loneliness is even when you're not lonely, you can still feel that way. People that have like a really supportive family, people that have many friends, like even like say the popular kids in school and stuff, like the thing about loneliness is like you can have everybody around you and you still feel alone. You can have all these people, always there to support you, but it's one of those things it's so hard to escape from, even when from everybody else's perspective, you're not alone. It sucks. You know nothing till you come with me. And run wild, release your rage. Let the winds of wrath blow them away. Not gonna live in a compliance. Science. I'm not playing the victim no more. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna be an uplifting song or not. I'm not playing the victim no more. Time to go, rage. Okay, let's punish them all. Okay, well, I guess that kind of sets the tone. She's gonna let her frustration out on something. Maybe that pertains to why there were cannons, and she looked like she was ready to go to war in a sense. For their love, I'm done. I'm done trying to trust. Okay, so somebody she cared about. When you really love somebody or you really care about them, you feel obligated to trust them in a sense. Like it's hard to trust somebody. It's hard to love somebody and not trust them. Most people you care about, you want to trust them, but it seems like maybe her trust was taken for granted. I'm not gonna live in compliance. Gonna play with fire, backlit by the flame. Gonna play with fire. Okay. By the end, everything turned to red. So my interpretation of that is, since she's talking about, release your rage, even though it seems like she's saying to like let it go in a sense. But when I think of this, everything turned to red is like usually when people are really pissed off or frustrated and they see red, they kind of lose ability to, think clearly, and, they lose all rationale, and, they just go berserk in a sense. It was beautiful. It was brutal yet so beautiful. A kind of red pulls you in. I feel like this pertains to anger and won't let you look away. Make you feel a bit feverish. Scarlet crimson lit up from behind. So bright, it'll make you go blind, hypnotizing every eye that sees its red orb blazing, held captive by the allure. See, I don't know. This is talking about when I think everything turns to red, I feel like it pertains to anger, frustration, and talking about like aura and stuff like that. Maybe I feel like this is kind of hinting at like other people can see the rage and anger that you're going through. I could be wrong. I mean, you guys, my perceptions as always are just what I'm thinking right then and there. And of course, as I reread this, it might change, and or you guys could give me your interpretation and I might see your point and be like, okay, I think I like your interpretation better. So this is all just right off the top of my head. My heart got tangled up bad and now it's frayed. Okay, yeah, so that's probably the imagery we seen with her heart, with like all kind of like, the strings or laces or whatever you want to say around them. So maybe she's shielding her heart from something. No matter how much I've learned, I understand, but my anger's here to stay. So people that have really played with your heart or frayed it in this sense, she says she left her bitterness and resentment behind, and that's really good for like healing. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like, this is just an example. Your partner cheated on you. And of course you're going to be bitter and resentful towards them. but at some point you kind of just realize like it happened and you try to move on with your life and you do move on with your life. And, you left that bitterness and resentment behind you, but whenever you see them, say you see them out in public, you're at least I want to think you're gonna think about that moment when you see them, and that rage inside is like that mother, you know. I understand the rage still being there. I don't know. That's just my interpretation of it. I might be a little bit off base. You'll just have to let me know. Though my anger exhausts me and I fall apart. Yeah, through though anger exhausts me and I fall apart. She probably just. I know when I'm angry, I tend to overwork myself until I'm just tired, and then I'm just not angry no more. So you just exhaust yourself through physical activity, and I fall apart. My actions may cost me, but I can't let go of the past, and I refuse to move on. That I don't really like this line, and it's just from like having a healthy perception of life. I can't let go of the past. The past is really hard to move on from. Especially somebody that you like. It seems like this may be about a partner she had or somebody she really cared about. So I understand it's hard to let said person go. And God, I mean, it probably pertains to heartbreak, and that's probably like the worst like emotional pain you're gonna go through. One of them. So I understand this part, but I don't really like this part because if you refuse to move on, like staying stuck in the past, you're refusing to try to improve your life, be a better version of you, try to, better your life as a whole. Like, I refuse to move on. Like, I feel like being stuck in the past, I mean, being there, it does you no favors. It does nothing but bring you down and stops you from growing as a human being. I feel like being able to move on is super important. So I don't like that from like a real life perspective. In a sense, like I feel like this is like super unhealthy, but I understand kind of like the context of the song. If you would listen, you would understand. Okay, so maybe something occurred, or maybe she did something or said something, or she wants to explain her side of something, and maybe she didn't get the opportunity to do that, maybe which is why she's stuck in the past and refuses to move on because she wants to explain why she did something, or something clearly, conspired after she did what she did, and she wants to explain her side of it, but it seems like she doesn't really get the opportunity, which is why she's kind of stuck where she is until she does get the opportunity. And that's the thing is like it's sometimes people have a really hard time being able to see your side of things. Some people aren't very like empathetic in a sense. So I guess I kind of get it. I guess that adds more context to this. It's time to enter into my bad dreamland you made for me and suffer like I have. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like she's being a worse version of herself. Time to turn to my bad, like she ain't gonna take no crap no more. Or maybe she's just gonna be, I don't know. Dreamland you made for me and suffer like I have. Okay, so she wants this person to suffer. She feels she suffered and she wants this person to suffer. And I'm not gonna lie. I think we've all been there. Somebody that has really screwed us over and has made us hurt. I feel like, especially for those that won't listen and won't understand why we hurt that way we hurt, like they say, like the best lesson is learn the hard way. To make them understand why you feel the way you feel, you want to put them through the same thing they put you through. So I understand. This seems kind of like a heartbreak kind of song, which is probably why we seen, the heart with like the threads around it. And it seems like somebody she really cared about, hurt her, and she didn't get the opportunity to explain herself well, and she is stuck in the past and she wants them to suffer like she suffers. I've never really tried to embody like the whole context. Like I feel like I do an okay job at kind of explaining line after line and kind of my interpretation of said lines, but to try to get the overall picture is kind of hard. Seems like maybe this has a lot to do with heartbreak. I understand the bitterness and resentment, and it's good that she left that behind, and then the rage that comes with it. I get it. It seems like she wants to be able to explain her side, and she doesn't get the opportunity to do that. And now she's entering into her bad, and she wants this person to suffer like she has to be able to see what she's going through. In a sense, it sounds like she hasn't left the bitterness and resentment, you know? But I don't know, you'll have to let me know. Am I like somewhat close with my interpretation of like the whole of the song? But you know, let me know. Let me know your interpretation. I hope I did an okay job at breaking down the song. You know, it's a fun song. I like it. It's a beautiful song. She has a beautiful voice. It's very distinct, unlike anybody else. I like her music, and I feel like I'm gonna react to a lot more of her music in the future. And I don't know. I think I like this music video. It was very vibrant and beautiful. They kind of explained a story through visuals, and I can kind of connect that to some of the lyrics. But yeah, you'll have to let me know your interpretation of the song. And yeah, as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.